Gamma Episode 2. I'm your host, Nando Mendez, and together we explore the nature of consciousness, intelligence, and what makes us human. Let me start by saying I love what we call AI. I use it every day. I even use it to create these videos. But I have a problem. My problem is when the industry tries to tell you that this software is thinking, understanding. My problem is when they claim we're on the verge of superintelligence just to confuse the public and excite investors and governments. To understand the lie, you have to understand definitions. Let's dive in. If I ask you to define a triangle, it's simple. It's a shape with three sides. If I ask you to define a kilogram, it's exact, the mass of 1 liter of water. But if I ask you to define intelligence, you cannot, and neither can science. Let me repeat that. There is no scientifically accepted definition of intelligence. There is no standard unit for thinking. There is no kilogram of genius. And because there is no official standard, Silicon Valley saw an opportunity to write their own. For centuries, intelligence simply meant understanding. The word comes from the Latin intelligere, or to perceive, to comprehend. It meant you had insight, you had common sense, you knew why things happened. But in the 20th century, a shift happened. We stopped defining what intelligence was and became obsessed with measuring it. This era gave us the IQ test, but most importantly, it gave rise to the operationalist view, the dangerous idea that a concept is defined entirely by how you measure it. This created a false equivalence that still haunts us today. The belief that acting intelligent is the same as being intelligent. In 1994, 52 of the world's leading scientists tried to stop this. They published a consensus definition in the Wall Street Journal, and they said intelligence is the ability to comprehend complex ideas, learn from experience, and make sense of things. But the AI industry ignored them. Why? Because by that standard, their machines fail. So in 2007, the founders of DeepMind proposed a new definition. Intelligence measures an agent's ability to achieve goals in a wide range of environments. Do you see the trick? They lowered the bar. They moved the goalposts so that instead of replicating the mind, their success would be measured by automating the task. So right there, the I fell off the AI. Today's AI technology is not about intelligence, it's about artificial imitation. So what is actually happening inside the black box? As I said on my first video, it's a stochastic parrot. What do I mean by that? Think of it as autocomplete on steroids. The model scans for the words you just typed, searches its massive database, and asks a single mathematical question. Statistically, what word comes next? It doesn't know what the words mean, it only knows where they belong. The philosopher John Searle called this the difference between syntax and semantics. Syntax is the rule, semantics is meaning. To understand the trap we're falling into, let's take a look at his famous Chinese room thought experiment. Imagine you lock a man inside a room. He speaks only English. He doesn't know a single word of Chinese. Inside the room, you give him a massive rule book. The book contains 0 definitions, only instructions. You see this shape, output that shape. Now, imagine someone outside slides a question in Chinese under the door. The man picks it up, looks at the shapes, finds the match in the rule book, he copies the symbols the book tells him to do, and then he slides the paper back out. To the person outside, the room is a genius. It answers perfectly. It tells jokes, it writes poetry in fluent Chinese. But does the man inside understand Chinese? No. He has no idea what he just said. He doesn't know if he wrote a love letter or declared war. He is just matching patterns from a rule book. That is exactly what's happening inside ChatGPT and every other AI model. The man is the processor, the rule book is the model, and the room is the software. From the outside, it looks like a mine, but inside, it's just a rule book in the dark. Infinite syntax, 0 semantics. But you might ask, so what? If it works, why does it matter? It matters because definitions create reality. This isn't just an academic debate. This confusion, this failure to distinguish computation from comprehension is the radioactive fuel powering the global AGI frenzy. Because we have allowed the industry to blur the lines, we have stopped seeing tools and started seeing species. We are victims of a mass delusion. And we are easy victims because we are biologically wired to be fooled. We assign personality to things and we suffer from the fluency illusion. Because the machine speaks perfect English, we assume it has perfect logic. We assume there is a ghost in the machine. By redefining intelligence to mean whatever the machine does well, Silicon Valley turned a statistical parrot into a scientific revolution. They convinced the world we're funding the next Manhattan Project when we're really funding a very expensive autocomplete. It fuels the AGI panic. It convinces us we are summoning a new god. The machine doesn't want to kill you. It doesn't want to save you. It doesn't want anything. It's just completing a pattern. The danger isn't that the AI will wake up and take the wheel. The danger is that we're so mesmerized by the hype that we voluntarily let go of it. We are bankrupting our culture to build an idol that can't even hear our prayers. So stop worshiping the echo. Stop fearing the code. The lights are on. The syntax is perfect, but nobody's home. There is no AI. Welcome to Higher Gamma, and don't forget to subscribe.